Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatguru. Though usually we talk about the concept of Bhagavad Gita in this Sunday class, we are in a very holy period between we celebrated Durga Puja and we will be celebrating Kali Puja. So, when we recite Durga Saptashati or Chandi etc., there is a philosophical description and narration in a way of Divine Mother. So, in a discourse of 3 lectures we want to complete. There is a Sankshipta Devi Mahatmya, about 15 to 18 shlokas. So we discussed that. Last week we did, today we shall do, and also next week. We discussed that the scriptures, the speciality of these Hindu scriptures is that whichever form of God you take, male form, female form, human form, animal form, or even inert object, form of a mountain for example, when the description comes, when philosophical attributes are given to that particular form of God, you will find that it is connected with this truth or Parabrahman. There is no other purpose of any kind of worship, ritualistic worship or mental worship, worship of the God with form, without form, whichever way. These are all different varieties of worships we follow. But eventually, the description is given is of a Parabrahman. And we also record that Adi Shankaracharya beautifully writes in his commentary on Bhagavad Gita that whichever form of God you take, there are 2 aspects. One is the form. Say for example, Ganesha. Ganesha has a form. So there are attributes according to the form. Then form of Ganesha represents certain concepts. Auspiciousness, knowledge, breaking of the bonds. So different concepts are attached to one form of God. That's why in Hinduism, one must be, if not fully educated in that, but at least we should have some basic concept of symbolism. Otherwise, you will not be able to come out of that form. Why I am telling this? There is a form of God, correct? You worship, whichever form you worship. That form becomes your object of perception, object of meditation, object of prayer. Any object, if you want to remember, you cannot remember any form of God, just like any object of the world, other than your waking state. When you are sleeping or when you are in deep sleep, no object you can remember. So form of God also you don't remember. But the real form of God, the real truth behind every form of God, is this nameless, formless, attributeless truth, which is not even conceivable objectively by your mind. You cannot express it with your speech. That's what Veda says, avang manaso gochara. Vak and manaha, the speech and mind, are incapable of describing it. Why? Because speech and mind can describe only the objects of perception. I must see it, then I can describe. I must hear it, then I can describe. What about your own consciousness, because of which you are alive, because of which you feel that you are alive? There is no death of that consciousness. Other day we were talking, as the presence of the king, this also is simile given by Adi Shankaracharya. Presence of the king is enough. All the statements and all the ministers, everybody will be busy just by the presence of the king. In the same way, because of this consciousness, which is Atman, Brahman, Satchidananda, because of it, your senses, your mind, your body seems to be active. Your prana, for example, your vital force, which is active. Vital force in very minute form. Breathing is a very well expressive manifestation of prana, but there are some aspect of prana which is responsible for functioning a very small aspect of our physical activity. For example, winking of an eye. How we can do it? A prana is attributed to that. If that prana is weak, you will find, sometimes, God forbid, you should not experience, but people have a kind of facial paralysis. I suffered it for a while, for a month or so. So, if my eyes are closed, I cannot open. So I pull my eyes. Then it remains open, I cannot close. Then I have to close by hand, like opening shutter and closing it down. Because that prana became less active. All these pranas, all these senses, even mind, everything can function provided consciousness is there. So we are talking about that truth which you yourself are, which you can experience but cannot express, which you cannot live without, but you can't name it. All this Atman, Brahman, consciousness, these are efforts to express it. This is not the real narration of that. Even Satchidananda word, it also is in realm of the vocabulary. So Adi Shankaracharya beautifully says that any form of God when you take, that form of God, you give certain attributes to it. But it is up to you. If you want to consider that form of God as Parabrahman, you see the stotras, hymns written on different gods and goddesses. Many people have written. When Adi Shankaracharya writes, every god has this attribute. What is that? Ajam Nirvikalpam Nirakara Rupam Parabrahma Rupam Ganesham Bhajema. Ajam, one who is not born. Nirvikalpam, there is no alternative. Alternative means if there are two, then only there is an option. When there is one, there is no option. And there is no word one. One who has a concept of one must have the concept of many or two. That's why it is called Advaita. That which is not two, then you call it one. No, one cannot be said. If you say it one, then you are the second who is telling about this one. That's why one is not a definition of Brahman. That which is not two is the definition. Famous incident, Sri Ramakrishna is explaining this to Girish Chandra Ghosh, that there is a sun in the sky and there are 10 pots of water. So total how many suns are there? One real sun, 10 reflected sun. If I remove one pot, what will happen? 9 reflected suns and one real sun. If I remove all the pots, Girish Chandra Ghosh gave the same answer which you and me will give. No, only the real sun in the sky. Sri said, no. You cannot say that. Why? In the story, there is only one real sun. You are not in the story. How you can objectify that sun? Because you are that sun. So, we, for example, to understand, little modify that example. You enter in the room where there are 10 mirrors. How many yourselves are there? I am there and then 10 reflected myself. If I remove all the 10 mirrors, then I remain. You are the only person to whom you will tell that I remain. Now I am asking, so you are telling I remain. That's why when you go to deep sleep, there is no concept of two, but you remain. When you wake up in the morning, you do not feel, oh, I didn't exist. You existed. We never feel non-existence of ourselves. Do you remember when you did not exist? Your parents may say, no, you were born in this year, before that you didn't exist. They may say. Do you have any experience, memory, realization? There was a time when I did not exist. No. You exist eternally. Birth and death is part of your existence. You do not die or you do not get born. So, when we recite Durga Saptashati, the shlokas come. There is one form, Durga form, which we worship, is very gracious mother, beloved mother, compassionate mother. All these kind of things we say because there is a form of mother. In one of our lecture before Durga Puja we discussed even the negativity which is there. That also is mother only. We say mother killed Mahishasura. There are beautiful words used in scriptures. That mother killed the form of Mahishasura, and Mahishasura was so blessed that that form, Mahishasura form, was dissolved by mother and he got moksha. Many times people do not understand, or Sanskrit is a language which needs little attention, that a person dies, nashta, but when person is lost, the word is called vinashta. When you say nash in Sanskrit or in vernaculars, it is destruction. When you call vinash, we say it is complete destruction. Actually, V stands for Vishesha or special. When Sita was taken away by Ravana, the word used in Ramayana is Vinashta Sita. Sita is lost. Sita is not nashta. Sita is not destroyed. So when asuras are killed, they are freed from that asuric tendencies or asuric forms. There is an incident in Ramayana when Rama kills Vali, when Vali and Sugriva are fighting at that time. So Rama killed Vali. As soon as Vali fell down, Rama rushed and took Vali's head in his lap. Vali's wife Tara came and started scolding Rama. What did you do? You killed my husband, this and that. Vali says, don't scold him. He is the Lord. He is God. He says, how you can say that he killed you in front of me, or rather he killed you? Vali says, the great rishis and sadhus and devotees do tapasya for births after births. They do not get the vision of Rama. And look at my karma, that I am living this body by Rama and my head is in the lap of Rama. This fortune not everybody has. Then Tara understood that in the larger game of this Leela or the life, apparently it is killing. A lot of debate is there. People who are non-believers or do not have faith, they say, oh, Rama was very, how to say, he killed Vali with hiding behind the tree and all that. It's not so. Vali says, if I remember correctly, Tulsidas beautifully writes, Janama Janama Muni Jatana Karahi. Births after births, the rishis or the devotees take so much care and do tapasya, anta Rama kahi avat nahi. They do not have any scope of getting Rama. And look at me, why you said that I am killed? Everybody will die one day. Look at my death. And then a beautiful narration is given there that this body is made of 5 elements. Kshiti Jala Pavak Vivena Samira. These 5 elements, this body is made. When a person dies and the body is either cremated or buried or put in water or whichever way, there are 5 elements, so there are 5 ways of getting rid of this physical body. We use fire. Some people use water, put in the river. Some people put on the mountain so the air will dry it up. Some people will put to the creatures. Some people will bury inside. Eventually 5. So Sanskrit beautiful word is there. Panchatvam Gataha. The body which was made of 5 elements is going to be mixed with those 5 elements. With this, there are so many expressions are there. So, gods and goddesses form we take, we should not be holding on to that descriptive which is a physical or the I don't want to use the word gross, but about goddess face and how beautiful are clothes and mukuta and kirita and all. This is one description which is good for meditation, no doubt about it. But behind that, this truth is there. Who you are? Kenopama bhavatu tesya parakramasya. Is there any second example of your valor which you are showing in the field? Rupam cha shatru bhayakaryati harikutra. The enemies, the demons are afraid of your form. But chitte kripa. In your heart there is kripa. Samara nishturata. But in the fight with Mahishasura you are absolutely merciless. But inside there is kripa. Many years we recite, so we should do little introspection to understand the meaning of the shlokas. So a beautiful example came to my mind. How Chitte Kripa and Samarnishthava can go together? You know the potters will make the mud pots in a potter's wheel. To make the pot strong, they have a small piece of wood and they have something which is cloth and little cotton kind of thing which is relatively much softer. So that is inside the pot and he will be tapping with the hard wood to make the pot strong. That is the example. Inside there is a kripa. But if that kripa hand is not there and if he taps with, a potter will tap with the wood on the unseasoned pot on the potter's wheel, it will break. So mother is killing Mahishasura with so much kripa in the hand. This is how a devotee looks at that mother wants to accept you, mother wants to take you, but mother is in a fine form, mother is not in a gross form. So mother will like you to renounce your gross form. There is a beautiful bhajan which says that death is an excuse for Divine Mother to take her children into her lap. You cannot go to mother with this body, your body has to be here. Just like when you go to deep sleep, you don't go to deep sleep with your body, you leave it behind. So, mother's kripa is there. That's why whenever we get pains in our life, troubles in our life, a mature devotee doesn't even pray, "Oh God, reduce my pain." No. Give me enough power, give me enough capacity to forbear this pain so that I don't forget you. Misery, physical, mental, social, whichever kind of misery we have, all of us have, is a test whether you can remember God in that condition. When everything is fine, all of us are great devotees. Yeah? You do everything, you do meditation, prayer, everything you do because you are okay. When you are not okay, you don't pray to remove the misery. If you want to, you can, but that's a lower type of devotion. The higher type of devotion doesn't say you remove my pain. You give me that forbearance that in this pain also I don't forget you. Pain will come anyway. Who did not get pain? Physical, mental. Look at the life of the great people. Even look at the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Cannot eat. Cancer. So much so there is a hole here. Food taken comes out from here. Look at Holy Mother. Rheumatism plus many items. Swami Vivekananda much more. Read the 9th volume of Complete Verse. Swamiji writes to Miss Muller, "Good that you are not in Calcutta. Good that you are not visiting me in Belur. If you come also, you cannot see me. I cannot tolerate touch of even the silk on my body. Eczema, physical pain, high diabetes, lost one eye." Whom we are talking about? The great Swami Vivekananda. Physical is a part of our life. All of us get some or other. Then there is a series of shloka which is very interesting, which says, "Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu," that goddess who stays in every being, not only human being, in every being, as different forms are given, different attributes or the qualities are given. What it is? A goddess who is in every being called Vishnu Maya. Maya could be termed as ignorance. Maya could be termed as mother. This is a word play, of course. Who is mother? Maya becomes reverse, Ya. Ma. Yama, Sa Maya. One who is mother is Maya. But Maya is ignorance. How mother can be ignorance? Sri Ramakrishna was asked once, if God realization is the goal of life, then why God realization is so difficult? It should be easier for us to realize God. Why God does like this? Sri Ramakrishna always gives first answer is, how should we know? When he takes all of us in the group, he says, how can we know why God did like this? But he wants to churn out best version of you. That's why it is difficult. It is like a student appeared in the examination says, if to go to the next level was the goal of all the examination, the question paper should be as easy as possible so that all of us can pass. No. Exams are tough because only best people should be able to pass, not Tom, Dick and Harry. So this is the examination of life. It is always tough, it is always difficult. So Vishnu Maya, Maya of Vishnu. Why Maya of Vishnu? Because form of Vishnu also is taken with the help of Maya. Vishnu doesn't have a form. The word Vishnu means who is everywhere. That who is everywhere cannot have a form. With the help of Maya you see the form. And Namastasya, 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 Namo Namaha. Why 3 times Namastasya? 1 time was enough. But if you read the Durga Saptashati, when these shlokas are written, the serial number is not 1, 2 and 3. 1-3, 4-6, 7-9, like Namastasya come 3 times, so that becomes 1 shloka. What is mother? Yadevi sarvabhuteshu buddhi rupena sasthita. You will find here buddhi rupena, shakti rupena, kshanti rupena, lajja rupena, shanti rupena, shraddha, kanti, daya, lakshmi, matri. These are selected, but there are many other words are given. Not all are positive words. Your negativity also is Divine Mother. Hinduism doesn't have a concept of Saturn. Like Semitic religion, we don't have a concept of a Saturn. In Christianity or Semitic religion, you have eternal heaven and you have permanent hell. Hinduism doesn't have a permanent or eternal. The heaven in Hinduism is a temporary holiday resort where you have collected your good punya karma points, so you go and enjoy and come back again. Our hell also is temporary. You go, bad karma, go to hell, get punished, like a 10 days, 15 days, 2 years imprisonment and come back. But you have to be in this loka, you have to be in this human form to rectify yourself. The world itself, the whole world itself is a corrective place. We have come here to improve. Swamiji says this is a gymnasium. We have come here to make ourselves strong. So there is no question of, it may take time. It may take time. Somebody is very regular, so his health or his body will improve very fast. If you are not regular, one person goes every day, one person goes once in a week, you don't expect the same result. In the same way, we all are progressing in our own way. How much effort we are putting. Everything of life we have, along with little spirituality also is there. So we call it God-flavored life. You take 1 glass of milk, put 1 teaspoon of rose syrup. So it is a rose-flavored milk. It is not rose, it is a flavor only. Main is the milk. But then there are some people who lead God-centered life. They also have many things to do, but everything is adjusted for the sake of God only. If that doesn't exist, that cannot be part of my life. I remember devotees are very sweet. So one devotee says, Maharaj, my life is gone. What happened? When she got married to one of our devotees, before that she was not in contact with the mission. And that devotee always tried to give the importance to. So there is no mission as such. So the Swamis will go, stay in their house, conduct the satsangas, and those satsangas are either on Saturday or Sunday. And all the social functions, somebody's marriage, somebody's birthday, this and that are celebrated mainly in the weekends. So she says that every time people come, hey, you never come to our place. Whenever I say, you say, oh, today satsanga is there, oh, today Swamiji has come, oh, today that Mataji has come, somebody has come. So you say, what should I do? Other things can be compromised for this. This cannot be compromised with other things. So it is a God-centered life. So if we lead God-centered life, then the meaning of this verses becomes little more helpful to us. So that goddess, that Durga, who lives in every being as buddhi, as intellect. Intellect is a great faculty for all of us. Everybody has intellect. What is intellect? One who is more studious? Maybe. Do you think one is more intelligent who can earn more money or who can do this and that, who is very, very clever? Can be. That is another manifestation of buddhi. True buddhi is that which helps you to control your instinct. One who doesn't have buddhi cannot control we are all born with instinct, but we are not born with the equal amount of buddhi as such. But you can. Many times you will find illiterate person. We give example of great saints like Swami Adbhutananda. Illiterate, cannot even read and write. But he is very sharp intellect. Sri Ramakrishna, hardly little reading and writing, but sharp intellect. Our Upanishad says, Drishyate tu agreya buddhya. If you don't have a sharp intellect, you cannot understand the fine meanings of the scriptures. You cannot resolve your spiritual life issues which will come if you are not intelligent. That intelligence has nothing to do with getting good marks or becoming clever in the society, no. People can cheat him. His buddhi is not sharpened from that point of view, could be. But he understands his own spiritual difficulties and how to overcome it. That's why many times those who are apparently intelligent in the worldly sense, they have more suffering. Swami Vivekananda says one thing. Look at Latu, Swami Adbhutananda ji. He is a miracle of Sri Ramakrishna. And we all have to struggle so much because we are so-called intelligent. Latu did not struggle, accepted the truth as it came to him. So, buddhi is that, intellect is that which controls your instinct. Instinct is a common in all animals, all living beings, including human being. Everybody, whichever is a living being, need to take food, correct? But human being is not programmed. Until there is some corruption in their program, cow is a vegetarian, lion is a non-vegetarian. They are programmed like that. A lion cannot think, let me survive on vegetables few days. Lion cannot think. Cow cannot think, oh, the grass is not there, let me eat some meat. No, they are programmed like that. Human being is given this intellect. You can alter your program. You can update your program. You can change your program. Your choices in life changes. Your liking, disliking changes. You can change it. If you think this is good for me, you take. As soon as you come to know you have a diabetes, no sweet or less sweet, an animal cannot think of that. An animal cannot think about the time, about the routine. They don't have a routine. Animals, when they are hungry, they eat. There is a natural cycle that they do, that's a different thing. But whenever they are hungry, they eat. Whenever they want to enjoy, they enjoy. I was talking other day to someone. This is just a funny observation. Except human being, no animal wears cloth. Because the concept of lajja, concept of social evolution is not in animals. Except human being, no living being cooks food. They all eat raw food. As they get, they eat. Human being, what is that science? I do not know. You can enlighten me. Human being is the animal who uses the thumb maximum. Animals also use, but the use of thumb, there is a special category classified where human being is the only animal who uses the thumb. We can use thumb, we can use in this way, you can use in this way, many ways, but without thumb you cannot do. You have to hold something like that, there is no grip. But if there is a thumb, there is a grip. So anything what we do, thumb is very important. Anyway, so this buddhi, intelligence of any sort is buddhi, but the real use of intelligence is in controlling your instinct. Instinct has a tendency to bring you down. Why down we are telling? There is no up and down. Down means it doesn't allow you to live that animality, if I can use the word. We have animal in us because we are a physical animal, social animal as they say. But human beings, Sri Ramakrishna says, do you think human being is something less? If human being wants, can even realize God. Animals cannot think of that. So that is intelligence which makes us spiritual. Ya Devi Sarvabhutesu Shakti Rupena Samstava. Shakti is any kind of power. Physical power, mental power, spiritual power, whichever way you want to say. Money power, muscle power. What is real power? Real power is that which helps you to withstand the adversities. Power is not which we can use on others. Power is that which helps me to withstand. Withstand to my level. We have two types of difficulties in spiritual life. One, I cannot maintain my present spiritual level. My mind goes down. And secondly, I am not able to progress. I am static. But actually you are holding on to your status. So that is Shakti, which you can hold yourself on the present spiritual level or push yourself higher. Ya Devi Sarvabhutesu Kshanti Rupena Samstita. Very beautiful word. Sometime one person came to me, Swamiji, spelling mistake. Kshanti. Shanti is a word, not K. K is wrong. I said, no, the word is Kshanti. From where the Kshama has come. Kshama is possible when there is love. Kshama is possible where there is understanding. Somebody does a mistake, one person becomes furious, another becomes, oh, it's okay. You don't react. Why? Because you control your anger or you control your feeling which told you to retaliate. So Kshanti is one thing. Balaram Bose, Sri Ramakrishna's householder devotee, he says about Holy Mother that Holy Mother is a Kshama Rupa Tapasvini. Mother is a Tapasvini. Mother is, her life are full of tapasya. And her main tapasya is kshama, forgiveness. Just forgive people. Ya Devi sarvabhutesu lajja rupena sanstita. Lajja, people generally make it synonymous with ladies only, but no. Lajja is a quality which helps you to cover your gross part of your nature, your instinctive nature. I say to people many times, people use bad word. I don't know what is in North India, the word is called gali. You say a bad word to people. I'm not egoistic about it, but sometimes I say all the bad words I have heard. Because we were students, children used to use the word. But whatever bad word I have heard, by God's grace, it never came out of the mouth. I don't remember to have used a bad word in my life. Not that I am great, no. Most of you are the same. To hear was not in your hand. All the senses you can close. Eyes can be closed, mouth can be closed, even nose can be closed. Ears by itself you cannot close. There is no shutter given in the ears. You have to hear. Continuously you have to hear. But whatever you hear, you need to swallow. Or you have to throw it out. Throwing out is not a way, because all the galis I still remember. Correct? But I don't speak. What you hear, you cannot erase. Can you erase? No. Until your memory fails, it will not go. But to speak or not to speak is in your hand. So, the lajja is a status which helps us to not to let out or not to manifest our negative tendencies, our animal tendencies, our gross manifestations of our life. And that is possible only in human being. Nowadays, the animals who live closely with humans, you can see sometimes. I have seen dogs becoming very shy when they do some mistake. Very, very cute manifestations we find. But in general, animals don't have this. They have many other feelings, emotions are there. You have seen, I also have seen dogs crying, cows crying, just because somebody died at home. Some human being has died, and people have cows. The cows will understand that somebody has died, and they literally shed tears. Dogs shed tears. So emotions are there, but this manifestation is an intelligent way of concealing your lower tendencies. It is there in us. In all of us it is there. But this very capacity to do this, Yadevi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupena Sanstita. Shanti generally is called peace. Who doesn't want peace? You will find sometimes I just want peace of mind. You don't need other things. Other things I need. But with peace, without peace of mind, other things you cannot tolerate. For example, when all of us want to sleep, want to go to deep sleep, if you don't have a deep sleep, you sometimes will go to the doctor that I'm not getting deep sleep. So they will give you some tablets which will force you to go to sleep. One gentleman came to me, Swamiji, I cannot sleep. I said, I am not a doctor, I cannot prescribe any medicine to you. But simple things I can say. Every food is intoxicant. Every food is intoxicant. So I tell, whatever food you are taking, take 20% more. So your stomach will be heavy because you are not habituated with so much food. Then you wash your feet or take bath. Generally you don't take bath. And this is my observation. Put on socks so that your feet will be as if somebody is holding your feet or massaging your feet, or at least there is some hold is there on your feet. And then try not to worry about your problems and try to think of, easier for devotees to think about God or repeat your mantra, etc. And there are many spiritual ways out there. People say, oh, I see always bad dreams, and these are, we are not psychologists, we can't say all these things, but there are simple ways. When you put your head on the pillow, think that Sri Ramakrishna is sitting, or your Ishtadevata is sitting, and you are putting your head in his or her lap. Your head is on the pillow, but you think that I am putting my head in the lap of Sri Ramakrishna, he is sitting behind me. That gives you a solace that your mind remains in that continuous thought, maybe in sleep also. Some Swami has told, with your finger, write the name of your Ishtadevata, whatever, and then sleep, keep your head on that pillow. These are all psychological treatment only. It is just to handle your emotions of your mind. So, the peacefulness, and who is peaceful, who is at peace? Swami Vivekananda beautifully writes, one, Vahati Vipula Vata Purva Samskara Rupam. A tornado, a cyclone is going on in our mind. Cyclone of what? Cyclone of Purva Samskara. You cannot get rid of that. The samskaras are so powerful. So you need to do more and more spiritual practice to counteract those samskaras. Because eventually peace will come when that cyclone will subside. The cyclone of vasana, cyclone of desires. True peace will come only then. Remaining all is temporary peace. People take drugs, people take medicines, people take wine, people smoke. All for what? So that the mind shuts down and they consider that as a peace. No. That's a very costly peace which spoils your body also and your mind also. But there are ways and means by which you get rid of this intoxication which you have accumulated in form of samskaras. It's difficult, long way to go, but that is the way. So Mother is the Shanti which all of us are desiring for. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.